What's up, profitable stylists? What's going on, everybody? We have a huge announcement to make before we get started. The huge announcement from last week is we are congratulating all of you out there. Thank you very, very much. Our channel has now gotten enough viewers
God.
to become monetized.
Oh, I beat you to it.
That's right.
We are monetized because of you, not you, Eddie, but because of
not me.
because of the other yous out there.
Right.
That's really cool. So guess what we're gonna do with all that money for the whole next year in 2022? We're gonna donate it all to St. Baldrick's the whole year, no matter how much it is. So I mean, share the videos, get more people to watch, and we are gonna raise money for St. Baldrick's childhood cancer, and we're gonna talk about how this fits in here in just a minute. St. Baldrick's, you want to say a little bit about them?
Hey,
who they are?
Look, cancer all the way around is a terrible thing. Okay, St. Baldrick's Foundation.
We got some stuff to talk about in the journey also after your client leaves, between the time they leave and they come back, and I really want you to wait for that. But do this childhood cancer thing.
No, it's wild because the cancer sucks. Childhood cancer at any age, whether they're before they're born, they're just born, they're infants, adolescents, preteens, teens, young adults.
We get it.
It's rough.
It's terrible.
Rough. And the problem is there wasn't really a lot of people don't pay attention enough to that. So the attrition rate, the success rate for kids surviving has not been very good at all, has not been very high. So since the St. Baldrick's Foundation was founded, the success rate, the 5-year success rate has jumped up to 85% now. It is amazing. Year over
According
year.
To their website, right?
Yeah, that's right there on their website. You can see all of this information on their website, stbaldricks.org.
So let me do this because I think I represent the general public out there. I don't know much about it.
Man,
I heard a little bit about the head shaving thing, and I wonder how does that fit in?
That brings awareness.
Yeah, and so just like Pink Hair for Hope for breast cancer in October, people were mostly men, I imagine, because most kids are losing their hair from the chemotherapy, radiation, things like that, and so a lot of guys were shaving their head in. What month of the year? Was it a particular month? In March, huh?
So in March is the head shaving events, is when it's most popular.
So just like the Pink Hair for Hope for breast cancer, we are going to start the green hair because St. Baldrick's is a green hair thing. Get one strand, ask your stylist how you get one strand so that ladies can support. We're going to give a portion of the proceeds when you get a green strand to help support childhood cancer all the way through March. February 15th to April 15th. And hairdressers know how to find the green hair. You just have to want it. And that way ladies can help support it without shaving their head. And I think this can go so much bigger because I think a lot of people want to help support but don't want to shave their head necessarily. So, or shave your head and paint it green. But tell me a little bit about what the foundation does now that you found through your research.
They grant a lot of, because they consistently raise about 20 million a year over year, and I'm averaging it out. They give grants now to research to try to find a cause. They have network of support system for the families on how to deal with the troubled time of going through, while their kid is going through cancer. Just the awareness events, the support groups that are out there, just the overall messaging and bringing an organized spot where if people are confused and they don't know where to go, they actually have a lot of volunteers who will spend time with you to talk to you and let you know, okay, this is the step, this is the next step, this is where you go. It's become an amazing resource for people to go to. So we're going to support St. Baldrick's. We're gonna, like Bernard was saying, like I'm saying, 2022, whatever we make, 100%, we are donating it on our end. We're starting this green hair extensions. So some people, if you're not willing to shave your head, but you still want to support the cause, you can now go to the salon. They can host an event, a fundraising event. We'll do it from what, February? We want to cover
15th.
all of March.
We want to cover all of March, so February 15th to
February
April
15th.
15th. We will be donating a portion of the proceeds. I mean, we still got to pay for the hair. So on the net profit side, I don't know the exact number, but it's a significant amount. Hairdressers are going to charge different amounts to put the hair in after we charge them for it. The average hairdresser will probably charge $10 per strand. The Pink Hair for Hope thing was started by a hairdresser in our organization years ago. They used to do pink things to support breast cancer, and the pink hair ended up being one of our hairdressers, and he went huge with it. Never thought it'd be so big. So for years now, my business partners have been wanting to do childhood cancer to help bring awareness and bring a bunch of money into one of the childhood cancer foundations. And we kind of got a heart for St. Baldrick's, and we have green hair, and it's during I think St. Patrick's Day even falls in that time zone. So
It's in
people that
March,
even for fun for St. Patrick's Day, all the green hair that we sell during that 2-month period, middle of February, middle of April, will all be given. We don't care if it's for St. Baldrick's or St. Patrick's. We just want to help support the foundation. And we want to be honest. We don't know a lot about St. Baldrick's right now. It's kind of new for us. And I think as we start this journey for us, we learned a lot about breast cancer when we did the Pink Hair for Hope over the years. And so as we start to raise money, you guys will start to ask questions in the comments or comment about it or tell us your experiences or what you know. And that'll help us learn. And as we donate money, and I'm sure at some point, we'll be in front of some camera holding some big check, how much we gave, and they'll be thanking us and sending us all kind of information. And then we'll really be forced to learn more about it. And I've had 6 children, raised 6 children, and have always felt like I have been so lucky, no problems with any of them. And every time somebody has like one child and they have some kind of illness, it just breaks my heart because I think, God, I don't know how I deal with it. I thank God I got 6 healthy kids, and I would be definitely looking for help if I had any trouble. All right, enough sad stuff. I won't be able to go any further. Let's talk about how to treat your clients after they leave. I think most people forget about them. I think most people forget about their client. They're just happy they left, actually, because sometimes you're doing that hair. It comes out you're good, bad, indifferent, or maybe it wasn't just so perfect, and you're sweating because you're aiming to blow dryer the wrong way. The owner doesn't put the air conditioner low enough, and you're blow drying. You get right to the end, and you're like looking at their face, and you're not sure if they like it or not. You're just hoping, and you're like, you like it? You like it? And you're like, it's fine. You're like, oh, thank God, it's fine. That's not good enough for me, but when you're sweating and you're nervous and your heart rate's up my feet sweat. So I got like my socks are wet because I'm nervous. Sometimes I'm other areas I'm not going to talk about. I'm just getting a little sticky, and I'm thinking if she would just get out of here and pay, I could breathe. And so some of you guys can feel me right now. That client gets out and you're like, oh God, thank God I'm done. She left. I don't think it was great, but I thought it could have got worse. She could have got mad, yelled at me, asked for her money back, said, I'm never coming back. Well, she probably isn't coming back if you had all those feelings when she left. But even if you're in the middle somewhere and there's a chance that she's coming back or he's coming back, what do you do? Do you just like, thank God they're gone, hope they come back, let's just worry about the next
client? You start
client?
doing a prayer over here?
Yeah. So the only way you grow a business is for those people to come back. So most people are just thinking about the next customer. The way you build a business, the way you do what we talked about in the last episode, keeping clients forever. Who is forever in your life? Who's the only real forevers? This hit me this morning, and I thought, keeping a client forever, what is actually forever? I mean, obviously that's a very strong term, but the only people that are actually in your life forever are family members. Now, some of them we choose, some are by blood, but family, that's who's in your life forever. That's probably the key word to describe how to keep a client forever. Make them family. Be their family member, be friends with them, do your best, literally care how their hair comes out. Call me, tell me what's wrong. If you don't like it, I'm here for you. That's how you keep them forever. Be real. But then that's after they leave also. So I always say, when you leave, if you have any trouble, give me a call, text me, message me, whatever. Stay in touch with me. I mean, if for some reason all of a sudden you think it was too dark, too light, too short, too long, not layered enough, too solid, I totally screwed up, let me know so I can write a note in your file and make sure I try to adjust for next time. But be their friend. And there's so much more you can do, but I'm going to let you jump in here because I got a list of things I want to talk about after they leave.
Well, no, you're making a great point. We get so wrapped up in the moment that as soon as they're gone, you're like, okay, God, now I got to get to my next appointment, right? And then I got to get to my next appointment, and then I got to get to my next appointment. And by the end of the day, you don't even remember how stressed out you kind of do, but you kind of don't until you go home and you start drinking, and then you're drunk, and then you start remembering or other stuff.
Nice. Hit that thick.
And you're like, what is happening, right? So
Right.
when the person leaves, that 4 weeks, 6 weeks, 8 weeks that they're gone, we never, I say we touch, I don't know what else to call it, contact, I guess. We don't ever reach out to anybody else. So they're just left to their own devices. Now, when we teach hair extensions, we are very adamant about saying, have a follow-up, find the time to have a follow-up call, text, email, whatever, after the first week, after the first 2 weeks, and make sure that they're not having any issues, any struggles. Do they need to come back in, reevaluate, readjust, whatever they need to do, right? Why don't we do that with haircuts, hair colors, keratin treatments, any other hair services in general? We just let them out in the wild and hope for the best.
Wild. It's the extremes. So when I did regular haircuts, I didn't think about rescheduling them. But when I did nails, it was like they were coming so often, I kind of had to do it. But when you do extensions, it's so expensive. If something goes wrong, it's a very expensive fix. So your mind is heightened, like to what could go wrong. Let me make sure I solve all those problems. I don't want to have to pay for that mistake. But a haircut, if it's a little off, I can replace that client easily. I can maybe adjust it easily. It takes us a few minutes. Whereas extensions, when you have to adjust, it might be a whole day, a half a day of an adjustment, like take it all out, give them all their money back, fix it. So I think that's why it's the high price or high time things that force us to think more about it. But you're right. A business person doesn't go by that. They just come up with a system and follow it. And part of that system would be, what do you do after they leave? You got to just think about, what would I do for the most expensive, most whatever valued client, and kind of try to make that a system that you do every single time. So tell every one of them, here's my cell phone number. Call, text me if you have any problems, questions, issues. Send me a quick text. Maybe you follow up with them that evening with a text or a call, or the next day. Maybe you notice that they're having trouble styling their hair, or they mention, I can never repeat what you do. Don't hesitate to put a blow dryer and a brush in their hand. It's not that you're going to have them do the whole style, but do you try and shampoo and style your hair during the week? How many times? Once, twice, 3 times? And if they say yes, where's the trouble? Show me what you do. Hold this round brush or this regular brush, or maybe they're not even using the right brush. Put the blow dryer in the hand. Does your blow dryer look kind of like this? I know some of you guys got this torpedo looking blow dryer. Most clients have the one that looks like a handle on it. I don't want to say what it looks like. We might get dinged or something here on YouTube if I show what a blow dryer looks. So have them hold it and blow dry their hair a little bit, and you can help guide them through it. I mean, or even the smoothing or flat iron or curling iron. I'll never forget. I don't know if I said it on here or not. I was doing a lady's hair for close to 10 years before it was actually hair replacement. She kept saying how the hair was falling out and how gentle she was. And I don't know what hit me, but I said, Lisa, when you say gentle, show me. How do you brush the tangles out right after we shampoo? Shampoo the hair, I'll blow dry it. I started to blow dry it. And then I said, before I get it completely, I need to get some tangles out. Show me. And I handed her a brush. She leans forward, and from the backside, I mean, it sounded like this. She turns over, and this is how fast it was. She goes, "This is all I do." And I said, "Whoa." I grabbed both her hands. I said, "What are you doing? That is not gentle." It's crazy that people's definitions of words always heard gentle. I thought, why does her hair system lose so much hair, so much more than everybody else? She says she's gentle. But I don't know what hit me after like 10 years of doing this lady's hair and replacing. She had a lot of money. She would just replace them more often. But then when she started, her business started going down. Money mattered a little more. She started complaining a little bit more. I can't afford getting them as often. Why aren't these things made better? I said, they are. I'm telling you, nobody else has as much trouble. I don't know what's going on with you. Let's start with, let me see. I can't be with you 24 hours to see how you sleep, how you take care of it, how you brush, how you shower. But a lot of it can be just in a few things you can see. So let me see you brush. And I was like, holy cow, there's your problem. That's gentle. I mean, that's not, even brush it like that in this. I mean, you would assume that her definition of gentle would be less than what I'm doing, because I'm pretty aggressive actually, and I'm brushing, but you don't hear it. You could hear her brushing, and it was going in reverse, real hard. Yeah. So you gotta put some tools in your customer's hands sometimes, and sometimes you feel like it looks or seems unprofessional because you're getting paid to do the job, but you're also getting paid to teach them, or at least you'll get rewarded for teaching them. They'll come back again.
That's what I wish people would pay more attention to, is how important it is to maintain. Look, we are creating, we are molding a whole entire look, a whole entire style. And we're doing it through the combination of multiple things: conditioning, cutting, coloring, treatments, extensions, replacements, so many different aspects to what we do. Perms, relaxers. I mean, I'll throw everything in there. I don't care, And then we're selling them retail so they can, in hopes that they keep the porosity of their hair, the texture density, all of that under control. So when they come back to us, theoretically, our life should be easier, because we should be able to take, we built a foundation, a baseline. They should maintain that, and then we should be able to build on top of that and build on top of that and build on top of that. But all we're doing is we're always chasing damage control. We're never getting to build in most cases.
Most of us, a lot, right. As a whole, our industry is. Hey, I made a note last time that said things I wish I knew between clients being done and coming back. I don't have an answer for that. I was wondering, was that something that you had an answer to, like something you wish you knew? I'm trying to. The client leaves and then they come back. What happens during that time you wish you knew that you know now as an experienced stylist?
I wish I knew to really make sure that I wish I knew that they knew they were supposed to do things every week before they came back. Because during the haircut, during the blow dry, during the process, whatever, you're talking to them and you're like, okay, you should be doing it like this. You should be doing it like this. You should be doing it like this, right?
Yeah.
But at the end, before they leave, you need to have them repeat it back to you, that they understand what exactly their homework assignment is.
Here. Write it down. I mean, I've literally videoed people before. You said you're going to do what?
You're right.
Oh, especially with hair extensions, because they're not. So I came up with something. God, we almost did. I remember our last one got canceled just before the big height of COVID. And now that things have loosened up a lot, I'm literally going to be doing this next idea in my own salon. I'm going to be talking about it in my next meeting. And we have not done this in a couple of years because of the state of the world these days. But what we used to do is in-salon trainings for groups of people at the same time. And we put a little bit of a poll out there on Facebook and asked, and one of our good clients said, "You know what we need help doing?" And I loved it because it was so freaking simple. She said, "We need to learn how to do ponytails." I said, That's easy.
Okay.
She said, open it up to moms and dads. One of the mermaid, not mermaid, one of the Disney princess movies had just come out or something, and our local vendor had the what is that? Oh, what is the real popular brush across the country? Like it's a real soft bristle wet brush, I think it is. The
Oh,
wet
okay.
brush had on the back of the brush had Disney princesses, and it was a pack with all the different princesses. Some were more rare than others, and so we got I don't know, I think 2 dozen or 3 dozen Disney princess brushes, and then COVID hit and we had to cancel our little thing. But we were inviting dads also because some dads are putting their little girls' hair in
Yeah, sure.
ponytails. They go to school in ponytails and they don't really know how to do it. And so we thought we'd start with something really simple. This is a very non threatening. You would think it's almost not valuable, but it is. You can do something where you invite moms or dads or both with their little girl or little boys. Little boys are wearing their hair longer these days, too. Sometimes it's just that ponytail up here for a little boy, maybe. And so you invite them in an hour or two on a Saturday. Maybe you take a lunch break or you do it on a Sunday. I don't know. But you invite them in and it's completely free because you're going to sell those brushes. You're going to sell some tools. You might show how some of the girls have a little wavy or curly or frizzy hair and you might smooth it a little bit first. So you're going to sell some flat irons or blow dryers or diffusers. You're going to sell brushes and maybe some kind of ponytail holders, depending on what you're recommending. But how to get all that hair smooth, and then maybe a little bit of styling product,
Yep.
maybe a little finishing product. You're going to sell those products too. So you're going to sell stuff, and some of these people are going to come with the spouse or kid that doesn't get their hair done at your salon, but now they're gonna because they see value in what you do. And so you can do classes on how to use a flat iron, how to use, I know a lot of people like to call it a smoothing iron. You can do classes on how to use a brush. I mean, I know you already do classes like that for hairdressers, but do it for the clients, how to do these things. Now, maybe you don't do a class on how to apply your own color, but the things that they are doing at home with all the blow dryer, curling iron, flat iron, the ponytail, some simple styling, those things go a long way. Have you ever done anything like that?
Yeah, I used to do a lot. It was when BYOB was really popular. Bring your own beer to the restaurants. That was a thing. A number of years ago, and then hairdressers turned it into bring your own blow dryer. So it was still BYOB
Oh,
parties, and we
I've
would
never
have
heard of
little
it. Okay.
platters.
That's a
Finger
good
foods.
idea. Bring your blow dryer so we can teach
Bring
you
in your
to
blow
use.
dryer, your
Yeah,
brushes, all your stuff from home. And I would
good
literally
idea.
tell the client, clean out your entire cupboard, your what do you call that in the medicine cabinet or whatever you put all your products in.
And I
Dump
don't
them
know. Yeah.
all in a bag. I don't care where you bought them from. I don't care how long you've had them for. Spring cleaning, bring them
Yeah.
all in, and we'd line them up, and
We'll
they'd be
throw
like,
it all away. No, just kidding.
no, we would. We would. They'd be like 50 bottles lined up. Be like, okay, you don't need all of this. They'd end up with like 3 left.
Yeah.
And it made a huge difference for a lot of people.
Cool.
And it brings me to my next one. I wish I realized sooner how much weight our suggestion carries, our words matter.
Right.
People listen to you. People really, really, really listen to us when we tell them things. So you got to be mindful of how you say something to the client, because that's going to stay with them over the course of weeks, months, and years on end. I I I was speaking to somebody yesterday about this actually, and she was telling me, I was talking to another, a hairdresser talking to another hairdresser. They kind of were discussing, techniques, and they kind of got into it a little bit because the stylist that I was talking to yesterday, she said, you always said like this, and this, but that's not what she was saying. So she's got to be wrong. I'm like, wow, you taking my word at that level, at that
Yeah.
high of a level. She goes, oh, I 100% trust you over trusting anybody else because everything you have always told me has always come to pass, has always been consistent and always been true. I'm like, wow, that's awesome. Thank you. I'm like, but then I'm thinking about this. I'm like, she's going to become a cultist. I really got to be careful on what I tell her from now on.
Send me money. No.
Right.
But it's a good, I know, and that is a difficult thing. You know what? That brings up a point like when we're teaching classes and I've got an assistant helping me teach that class, or even if it was just you and I, and we're going around the room touching base with the people that are doing a technique, and I show one way and then you show another.
Yeah.
They automatically think whoever they learned from first is right and second is wrong, because we'll both go around the room again and you're going to be wrong to half of them and I'm going to be wrong to half of them. So I always felt like it was a good thing to do. It helps that person save face, is to say there's more than one right way. I'm so glad you think all of the ways I've taught you work really well and you're happy with them, but it doesn't make her wrong or her method wrong. It just might be a different way to get there. It might be better and faster. It might be slower and longer, but let's break it down and see. Maybe we can learn a little bit and she can learn a little bit from this other wrong technique. So I mean, yeah, it's great to be worshipped when you level where you're so successful. Sure, like right now we're passing on things that we've learned through experience that really work or really good. The only way to do all of this stuff, there's other people have reached success other ways. As a matter of fact, the success I've reached took me a very long time. As a matter of fact, I helped some stylists get to where it took me 7 or 8 years to get to some places I'm helping stylists get to in 6 months or a year. You don't completely appreciate it like they should. If they could feel the pain it took me to get there in a decade, that they get to in 10% of the time, they would literally worship me. But they don't. They thank me sometimes. Sometimes they quit and go do it on their own because they really don't value it. But at the same time, it doesn't take anything away from the giving I'm doing. I'm still rewarded for giving, and I still enjoy helping and teaching. And that's why we started this YouTube channel, is to help people. Yeah. So one last point that I have to this whole topic, and then I don't really have anything else to say other than buy green hair, is that I was talking to a few of my stylists this last week, and I noticed they're outside smoking a lot in between clients. I said, guys, I don't smoke, so I don't get it. But I'm not saying you shouldn't, you can't. If you quit, you'd be so much more successful. But let me tell you what I did in between clients. I always thought about what more could that client be doing, or what more could I be doing with that client. So I'm thinking about the last client and the next client, how much space is in between and how I can fill it up. Yes, I'd love to fill it up with more clients, but if I've got a client that's coming in and I see that I have a 30-minute gap between that one and the next, my first goal is not to get to the cigarette or the liquid stick. I don't know what they call those things.
No, the vape pens.
Yeah, like the vape thing. I said my goal was to say, let's see if I can sell more service to this person. Let's do more for more money. And if they're like, oh, I don't really know, I'm not really into that, even if it's just more like, let's do eyebrow waxing, let's do add a little highlighter, lowlighter rooting to what we're doing. Let's wax your ears, your nose, your arms. I don't know. But if they didn't want to pay for it or do it, I would say it's on me this time. I would fill that time up with doing more service. They didn't want to get blow dried and styled in some salons. You know, some people will let their clients leave wet. I would say, let me do it this time, no charge. I want to show you what I can do in case you ever want to do it for a dance or a special event or every single time and pay a little bit more so I can increase my income in the future. To me, that was the in-house marketing. It was free to do. I had the time. I was going to be sitting there waiting for the next client. So why don't I do more? If they were totally against it, part of what I had already done before this was, as I did my reminder calls the day before or text, I would talk to the clients and try to sell these services to fill up the gaps. Also, hey, I see that I have a 30-minute break before your appointment tomorrow. You want to come a little early and we'll wax your eyebrows, or we'll do this or do more. Or I notice I have an hour before and after you. Who is your best friend? bring a friend in. Let's do this. Let's do two clients for the price of one. What do you mean? I say, once in a while, I like to just let more people know what I do, and let's make it a mini party. Your appointment's going to take a little longer if you're okay with that. You got to know your clients. I know she's a mom. She's kids are at childcare. She's got hours, not like she's on a lunch break. And I'd say we're going to do two for the price of one today. Your friend can get all the same services that you're getting for no extra charge. I call it friend for free. What do you think? Like, okay. So treat one of your friends to come on in and get whatever they want up to like what you're getting, no extra charge. So I'll apply your color and then I'll apply her color. Then might have an assistant or two help out with the shampoo or whatever. So fill the time, fill it with free or fill it with money. Either way, of course, try the money first. And then, of course, you go for doing the other things. So if you're always thinking about that, that will help fill in those gaps, make you a little bit more money. And then the thing I actually had written down that made me think about that real quick was the get them back in sooner, especially after that first visit. They're not sure if they can do it or whatever. Do a little complimentary shampoo and style just 2 or 3 days later in the week. I mean, they're going to be doing something for the weekend that they want to look good for. You did them on Tuesday or Wednesday. If they're shampooing their hair once or twice a week and they're, Friday's coming, there's no way their hair's still looking good on Friday, especially if they wash it and try to recreate it. So say, why don't you run in here Friday evening before you do anything this weekend, Friday or Saturday? Why don't you run in here, let me shampoo and style it, or I'm going to have my assistant shampoo and style your hair just to kind of remind you of how, whatever. You got them in there for that second visit. It's worth getting them in there a second time kind of quickly to start to develop that habit of this is the place to come to get your hair done, because they came once and you want to continue, especially if you had trouble scheduling that next appointment. But maybe you say, if you schedule your next appointment, I'll do your hair again this week for free before you go out this weekend. There's all kinds of ways that you can package that great idea. What about you?
I'm gonna call it the social factor or the human factor. I'm not sure what the exact word for it is supposed to be. And one of the things I've observed over the years, I've been in a big salon with multiple stylists working side by side, station by station. I've been in an individual situation, one-on-one. I've been in a studio space, okay? I've even been in smaller salon where, yeah, I mean, it's just like 3, 4 stylists working together. The thing what I've noticed is when you're in a larger shop, and I'm giving these examples, but they're interchangeable all the way around. But when you're in a larger shop, there's just too much traffic going on. There's too many, it's too busy, and people don't spend too much time talking to each other. So and then they're always worried about running behind and getting to the next person because there's so many moving parts. When somebody's in a studio, there's no business being conducted. It's just way become personalized, like you all having coffee with each other, having a chit chat, and you're not really doing hair at that point, right? When you're in a smaller space and there's a couple of stylists, not so many stylists, it's give or take. There's somewhere in between. I'm socially awkward by nature. I don't really do well in social construct environments, especially with having idle chat. I'm not good at idle chit chat. So what happens is when you want to sell somebody something, but you don't want to sell them something, but you know they need it, how do you explain that to them, right? So I would say, hey, Bernard, now watch. You've done, like, for example, this is happens the most. I put your hair color on. Now you got to sit for 30 minutes. If I'm in a big shop, I could just run away to the dispensary or get on to my next client. But if you're in a smaller environment, yeah, you're stuck with each other. You can't go anywhere. We're in our same room, right? Hey, Bernard, listen, I got a presentation coming up. Do you mind, do you mind if I kind of throw a couple of things at you and you can kind of critique me? Is that okay with you? And you're like, yeah, sure. What's going on, right? Now, the presentation that I'm giving you is actually a product that I have in mind that I know would help you a lot, but I don't know how to say, your hair sucks, you're doing a crap ass job at home, you need to use this to make your hair better. So instead, I would say, here's this presentation, this is what this does, this is what this is, and for people with types of hair like, and then I would start describing your hair, but I wouldn't say your type of hair. I would just start
You're
describing
sneaky,
hair types similar like that, right? And then,
slimy salesman.
yeah.
I'm
And
just
what I
kidding.
end up finding is you say something along the lines of, the client usually says, could I benefit from something like that? And I'm like, oh, well, you
Funny,
know
you
what?
should.
But it does two things. It breaks the tension. You're not having to talk about the weather. You're not having to listen to their life if you care not to listen to it, right? If they're a complaining person, you're dictating the conversation so they're not whining. It's not a negative exchange.
And you asked permission for the opportunity to practice your pitch. I
You
think it's
practice
great.
your pitch. Now, it makes you more confident. It makes you better. It actually does them a service. It helps them out, That's that
No
social.
pressure, and it's not sales unless they want it to be.
And then right, it could become a sale. It may not become a sale, but that's okay. The other thing what I found is, look, if you just had a client that came in and told you something horrible, send a text message a day later, a week later, 3 weeks later, whatever it is. I've done that once in a while. I'll set a reminder on my calendar and just say, reach out to so and so and just say hi. It's insane how good somebody feels when you remember them. It is absolutely insane when you have nothing else to gain from
It's true.
anything. Just say hi.
You know what
That
text
goes a
is?
long way for them.
Text is the modern day thank you card.
It really,
It's
really.
instant, and you can instantly thank somebody, recognize somebody. You got to do it more often.
Now,
Got to do it more often.
I'm saying these things because I really suck, especially at text messaging. A lot of people know how much I suck at text, but it goes a
You
long
just have
way.
to
It
do
makes a
like
big
this
difference.
fast. You just have to do this.
I gotta get better. Yeah, I'm not.
Yeah,
I
got.
still am the one finger.
Are you doing like that? You gotta be like.
Yeah, well, that's one of those
I think
classes we
we're
got to
done.
do.
Yeah, you gotta do your thumb exercises. You gotta lift
I
little
always
weights.
lost at Thumb Wars. I was never good at Thumb Wars.
Oh, I was really good. One, two, three. Yeah, I was. Yeah, I'm pretty good at the thumb wars. I got some big fat thumbs. All right, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Ask Your Stylist about a green strand starting February 15th through April 15th. So we're going to cover all of March, a little before and a little after. Raise money. All our money for this whole next year is going to St. Baldrick's, and all the green hair sales for a whole 2 months, actually, February 15th to April 15th. It's all of March plus a little, which is peace out.
Let us know
Bye,
what
guys.
kind of events you guys would do as well to help if you guys are interested or not. Reach out to the link. We'll put it in the comment section. No, in the description. We'll put the link to St. Baldrick's so then you can go check
Yes.
them out too if you want to learn more information about that.
So you don't have to shave your head.
If you don't want to shave your head. Happy New Year, everybody. Eat too
Maybe we should.
much, sleep too much, enjoy too much, be happy, be safe, all of the good stuff.
Happy New Year.
We'll catch you all next week.